Patience. What do you want? I want patience. Meditate on your dear mother's patience-flooded heart. Meditate on a tiny seed lying inside the ground. Meditate on an extremely long road. Meditate on the heart of a spiritual master. Be like a child. In everything we do, we need patience. In the beginning, when a child tries to stand up, he falls down again and again. After falling down a number of times, he could say, "No, I am not going to try to get up anymore." But he has a tremendous inner urge to walk. He sees his father, mother, and elder brother all walking, and he too wants to go forward. The patience that a child exercises unconsciously, a grown-up has to exercise consciously. For a child, patience is natural because he is all the time in the heart. But because adults live in the mind, they have to try very hard to get back those heart qualities. We have to bring the unruly mind under the control of the heart. Patience, patience, patience. What you need is patience. In the heart of your patience, you will discover peace blooms and satisfaction blossoms. The strength of patience. Patience is divine strength. Very often, people do not know the meaning of patience. They feel that it is something feminine, a form of cowardice, or a reluctant way of accepting the truth. They feel that because there is no other way left, they have to be patient. But if consciously we can be patient, then we are strengthening our inner will and lengthening the scope of our divine manifestation. We have to feel that patience is not something passive. On the contrary, it is something dynamic. In patience, we develop our inner strength and willpower. It is true that if we have willpower, we can easily acquire patience. But it is equally true that when we have patience, our inner willpower develops itself in a special way. Patience constitutes my bank of fortitude. Love constitutes my bank of peace. Concern constitutes my bank of joy. Patience fruits. Patience is a tree that grows within us and produces not one fruit, but 4: wisdom, joy, peace, and victory. Patience requires energy as well as the cooperation of the body, the vital, and the mind. Without patience, the mind works automatically, like a machine. It moves by compulsion, not by choice. It is restless. It darts here and there. The body may be inert, but the mind is constantly roaming. There can be no peace without patience. Patience is not inertia. Inertia is a negative and destructive way of approaching the truth. It is stagnant, and that which is stagnant eventually leads to destruction. But patience is dynamic. It always goes forward towards the goal. Patience has the steady movement of growth and is always accompanied by peace. Patience is the best shock absorber. Patience is the highest peace discoverer. Patience is the greatest perfection believer. Patience versus dynamism. Spiritual qualities such as patience can be manifested in a dynamic fashion, provided we can see in them at least an iota of dynamism. Usually we do not think of patience as a great virtue. We take it as an unavoidable weakness. But no, patience is eternity's strength in disguise. If we separate patience from dynamism, then we are making a mistake. In patience, there is confidence, and in dynamism, there is confidence. We can safely say that confidence is the hyphen between patience and dynamism. Think of patience as something strong, powerful, and challenging. Then you are bound to see and feel the dynamic aspect of reality and patience. I have 2 intimate friends, the red light and the green light. The red light warns me and cautions me and finally commands, "Stop." The green light inspires me and encourages me and finally whispers, "Start." My red friend teaches me patience. My green friend teaches me dynamism. My red friend tells me my life is precious. My green friend tells me my goal is precious. My red friend perfects my will. My green friend fulfills my dream. The time lengthener. Patience lengthens time. Now we are living in earthbound time. That means our time is very limited. We should take patience as something that extends our time limit. Let us say that we want to become a long-distance runner. While we are running, the goal seems far away, and yet we want to reach it in the twinkling of an eye. But if we do not put a limit on the amount of time it should take us to reach our goal, if we do not bind it, then the light of patience is working in and through us. Patience is our conscious surrender to the hour of God. We want to reach our goal just because God wants us to reach it, and God selects the hour. Then, when we do reach the goal at God's choice hour, we have to know it is the realization of our patience. Patience is running with you. Patience is running for you. Therefore, yours will be the ultimate success victory. Patience is not complacency. Sometimes we think that because a goal is so high, so sublime, we can take a long time to reach it. That is the Himalayan mistake we make. We think, my God, it is such a difficult task. Let it take its own time, 4 years, 5 years, or even 6 years, because it is so difficult. But we have no idea at what point lethargy is entering into our mind. If we are working hard every day, every hour, and at the same time, if we have patience, we will say, today I am not reaching the goal. Tomorrow I will reach it. If tomorrow I do not reach it, then the day after tomorrow I will reach it. But unfortunately, after a few weeks or a few months or a year, that intensity is not there. If intensity is absent for some time, then willingness and even readiness leave us. At that time, we enjoy our own way of life. Previously, we were trying very sincerely, very devotedly to accomplish something. We must always feel, I am trying very hard. Today, I am not accomplishing it, but tomorrow I will. When God created time, He created patience as well. Steady speed. A farmer plows the ground with the same sincerity today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. Then the seed germinates and he gets a bumper crop. In our life also, we have to know that God has given us the necessary amount of patience. But if we do not use it, lethargy, complacency, and other undivine qualities enter into us, and we justify them by saying that our goal is something very significant, very important. We say that Rome was not built in one day. If that kind of idea enters into our mind, then we are simply fooling ourselves. The goal may be very high or very far, but we have to maintain the same speed from day to day. If one day we slacken our speed, the next day we have to increase our speed in order to compensate. Patience means success ultimate. Keep in mind the goal. To develop patience, we have to feel that we have launched into a spiritual journey, an inner journey, which has a goal, and that this goal wants us and needs us as much as we want and need it. This goal is ready to accept us and give us what it has, but it will do this in its own way at the choice hour of God. God is definitely going to give His wealth to us, but only when the time is right. Feel that you are seeing a garden 2 miles away. You have to tell yourself, no matter how difficult the road is, if only I can arrive there, I will get so much joy. As soon as I reach the flowers and breathe in their fragrance, I will be the happiest person. If you keep in mind the goal of happiness, then automatically you will develop patience. Patience will never tell us that spirituality is a hopeless task. Patience will tell us either that we are not ready or that the time is not yet ripe. Although we may feel that we are ready, we have to know that our integral being, our whole being, may still be unprepared. Our soul may be ready, our heart may be ready, our mind may be ready, but our vital and physical may not be ready to reach the goal, which is light and truth. Only when our whole being is ready will the goal itself dawn inside our aspiring consciousness. When the hour strikes, the goal will draw us towards itself like a magnet. Patience is the divine friendship that we enjoy with divine time, the everlasting time. That has far transcended the snares of death and the frustration of bitter failure. Ignore the monkey. When doubt or other negative forces enter into you, you can take them as a monkey that is constantly bothering you. You let the monkey go on and on because you are patient. There is a competition between your patience and the monkey's mischievous pranks. Just because you are a seeker, you are bound to have more patience than someone who is not aspiring for a higher life. The monkey is not aspiring, so the monkey's patience can never equal your patience. In this world, as we have an ego, the monkey also has a form of ego, only you do not see it. If you are not paying any attention to it, the monkey will eventually feel that it is beneath its dignity to bother you again and again. Patience has such capacity to dissolve negative forces. If you have the capacity to ignore or to constantly reject the negative forces, then they can never win. Patience, increasing patience, is all we need to be victorious in the battlefield of life. From the seed to the tree. What you need, what I need, what others need is one thing: soulful patience. We have to know that patience is not something weak. If we are patient, it does not mean that we are forced to surrender to the hard reality of life. No, patience is inner wisdom. Our inner wisdom needs patience, a length of time. It is like a seed. As soon as we see a seed, we expect the seed to grow into a plant and become a tree, a huge banyan tree. But the seed takes time to germinate and gradually become a plant and then a tree. If we have the vision of our patience, then one day we will see that truth will manifest and grow into reality. So what the entire world needs is soulful patience. Then the truth can grow in its own way. Patience trees produce ambrosial blossoms. The Inner Electrician. We may wish to destroy our imperfections, but destruction is not the answer. Inside patience is light. Light will illumine all our bad qualities, our darkness. Darkness can only be conquered by light. A room may be full of darkness for years. Then an electrician comes, and in a few minutes he brings light into the room. Similarly, we have to bring light into all our imperfections. When we get illumination, all our insecurity, jealousy, impurity, impatience, everything will be illumined. Light is the answer. The sooner we bring light into our system from above, or bring light to the fore from within, the better for us. There is nothing on earth that can undo the past but patience. If we have patience, we can easily undo the past. The past is a morning mist, a meaningless experience in comparison to our future realization. The soul's light, which is patience, will eventually conquer delusion, illusion, temptation, limitation, everything undivine. God's patience light will conquer everything in and through us. Patience is the cure for all our failings. Expectation frustration. If you expect anything from others, you will only get frustration. Even if you expect something from yourself and you do not get it, you will become irritated and frustrated. You will be doomed to disappointment. When you do not get something from others, you get mad at them because they have not fulfilled your desire. When you do not get something from yourself, you feel that you are useless. Then you become depressed and angry. When this happens, just say to yourself, "This is not the right way. I will do the right thing." If I expect something from the world, I will become frustrated because the world is like that. If I expect something from myself, I may also be unable to achieve it. What I need is patience. Surprisingly beautiful is the hour of patience. Amazingly fruitful is the power of patience. Tolerance or oneness. Patience is always necessary, but we have to know the difference between patience and tolerance. Sometimes we think that surrendered tolerance is patience, but this is wrong. We have tolerance only because we feel that there is no other way for us. But this tolerance is not patience at all. No, real patience has to be utilized in the form of wisdom. Real patience is oneness. Real patience will wait for eternity while the individual progresses. But if it is only tolerance that is trying to take the role of patience, then there will be no real satisfaction. If somebody needs more kindness and affection, then you should be ready to give it to that person, not according to what he deserves, but according to your own heart's magnanimity. If somebody is nasty to you or is not helping you in your work, you have to take it as a challenge to become extra nice, extra kind, and extra sweet so that you can bring forward the good qualities in that person. You have to work in a divine way and try to conquer the person through patience, concern, and love. Perfection slowly comes and happily stays in the same room with patience. Grace rain, patience ground. Two things we have to depend on: God's grace and our own patience. The human in us needs abundant patience, infinite patience. But inside patience, we have to feel the supreme necessity of God's grace. God's grace is like the rain. The rain has to descend. Again, the ground has to be fertile, and this comes from patience. Success does not come overnight. When I tried to lift up 300 pounds, how many times I failed, but I did not give up. Similarly, if you want something, you must not give up. Today you may have failed miserably, but tomorrow or the day after tomorrow you are bound to succeed. For the idea to achieve something has come directly from God. That you have to know. When you think of achieving something, it is not a mental hallucination. The dream comes from a very high plane. You have to offer your entire being to fulfilling this dream until you reach your goal. Again and again and again, every day you have to try. First, you sow the seed, and then you water the ground. Only in this way will you value what you achieve. You are not going to create more hurdles along the way, but if you encounter hurdles and surmount them, you will be truly happy. It is only when you work for something that you really value it. Progress is eternal patience. Success is constant reliance, self-reliance, and God-reliance. Divine timing. As human beings, if we want perfection and satisfaction, we need patience. Nothing valuable, nothing momentous can be achieved by the human in us in the twinkling of an eye. Again, the divine in us is always bringing down God's grace from above. The divine in us is our heart's inner cry. The child in us is crying for God's love and God's compassion, while at the same time, the mature human being in us knows the supreme necessity of patience. If we are not given something today, we know that there is a special reason why God has not given it to us. God is not cruel. God knows that if He gives us something today, we may misuse it, whereas tomorrow we will use it properly. To me, patience light means reality's fastest progress. Never surrender to failure. If failure has the strength to turn your life into bitterness itself, then patience has the strength to turn your life into the sweetest joy. Do not surrender to fate after a single failure. Failure, at most, precedes success. Success once achieved, confidence becomes your name. Anything that is momentous, anything that is enduring, cannot be achieved overnight. But the fact that something momentous requires patience is no reason for you to be discouraged. Patience is a perfect stranger to imperfection. When aspiration and dedication loom large in our life, patience, our third friend, plays its role most satisfactorily. Patience and God's infinite compassion play together and dance together. At that time, we see that our teeming imperfections are ready to be transformed into perfect perfection. If you can wait with the patience of the wise, then there is nothing that you will not be able to achieve in this lifetime. Your own victory. Time is a flying bird. Do you want to capture the bird and encage it? Your fondest dreams will be transformed into fruitful realities if you just know the secret of growing the patience tree in your heart. Patience is your sincere surrender to God's will. This is not the effacement of the finite self you now are, but a total transcendence of your finite existence into the infinite self. In silence, patience speaks to you. Try to live the inner life. You will not only see and reach your goal, but also become the goal. Patience is your own inner wealth, wisdom, peace, and victory. Impossibility always bows to humanity's patience mountain.